We have another cooking from the pantry video today. I hope you're going to enjoy it, and I hope you take some inspiration in using all of those beautiful jars that you have worked so hard to put up in your pantry. So we're going to start down in the canning pantry today as I do a little shopping, but I wanted to give you a couple of quick things first. I have found some, I would call it lost footage. That sounds a little dramatic. Some footage that I misfiled a couple of months back on the taste test that should have been at 6 months for the French fries, the dry canned French fries. And it ended up being at 8 months, and it's also the taste test for the tomato jam. So we filmed this just before the Every Bit Counts challenge, so very late in July, and the footage, it got lost, it ended up in the wrong file, and anyway, I found it yesterday. I was doing a little cleanup on my computer, so I found that. I'm going to put it at the end of this video, even though I want you to know now that it's not current. It was back in, let's call it the end of July. So that'll be at the very end, so stay tuned for that. And I also want to tell you that today we have a sponsor. I'm very proud that Nakano Knives is sponsoring today's video, and we'll talk a little bit more about them later. Welcome to Grow and Preserve. I'm Carter, and I'm so very glad you're here today. Let's head down to the pantry and get our shopping done for the week. Okay, so we've been out of town for a couple of days. I only have a couple days left in this week for which I need to make dinner. So today's Tuesday, so I need to make Tuesday night's dinner, Wednesday night's dinner. We're going out to dinner on Thursday. Friday's probably going to be leftovers. And then Saturday, my kids come in town, and whoever comes in town that day always gets to pick the dinner. So I'll leave that one aside. But I thought we'd come down here and just do a bit of grocery shopping. So I asked David what he wanted. We had to go to Atlanta to take care of some things. And you know those trips where you're so busy and there's no time to do anything, and you're trying to crave it in, and you want to get home because there's work to be done back home as well. So that's kind of what our trip was, and we ate junk. I mean, literally, we ate junk. We didn't have time to sit down and have a meal at any given time throughout the 2 or 3 days, whatever we were there. And I don't know, you can see I'm all swollen. Anyway, I'm feeling a little puny today, so I want to make something easy, something comforting, something I don't even have to think about whether or not it's good for us, because I know it is. All right, so I asked David what he wanted this week. He said pizza and lasagna. Clearly he's still on that, junk food train, but I'm going to make it healthy. So for pizza, I'm thinking I'm going to do a barbecue chicken pizza. So let's grab a few things for that first. So I'm going to take some raw packed chicken. I'm going to grab the barbecue sauce, which is here. So I've got barbecue chicken, and I have chicken and barbecue sauce. Let's get my basket. So we'll put everything in this basket. And while I was walking through the garden to see what vegetables we had, I found a potato just laying on the ground. So I guess someone dug that up for me while I was gone. But I do, out in the garden, I have lettuce and bok choy, and what else? Green onions, parsley, broccoli's not quite there yet. Oh, ton of kale. So I feel like our vegetables are taken care of this week. So we'll just work on the main dish in here. So for pizza, let's see, chicken barbecue sauce. Oh, let's put some onions on there. And I think I'm going to do maple onion jam. And I know we're going to do as well some hot pickled peppers. Scoot you down here a little bit better so you can see. Okay, so is that it for, that's it for the pizza. Oh, I know, one of you, when I was doing the pantry tour, one of you asked about the pear chutney tart that I make. So I want to make one of those this week to show you how I do that. So, let's see. I'm going to reach back here and grab a half pint of pear chutney to make that tart. And then the next thing he wanted was lasagna. So let's get some crushed tomatoes. And let's get some pasta sauce. Let's see, where's my pasta sauce? Pasta sauce and some sausage. Okay, my little basket's filling up here. Here we go. All right, see, that looks like our dinner situation is taken care of. Now the other thing I want to do, my daughter and her boyfriend will be in town Saturday, so they'll pick whatever they want for dinner Saturday night. But Sunday morning, I'm sure I'll do an egg bake of some sort. So I want to grab some potatoes and some sausage, or maybe some corned beef. I'll grab both of those and I'll let them choose. So let's see. Corned beef. What did I get in terms of sausage over here? Sausage, okay. And, okay. All right, so I'm gonna put some potatoes in the egg bake. And I have a corned beef option if they'd rather have that. Or I have sausage. Let me show you these two sausages. I call them both actually hot Italian sausage, but this is the one from Costco. It comes raw, as this one also comes raw. Take it out of the skin and it has this orangey tint. I assume that's from all the spices that are in it. I'm going with that theory. And then this is the, I think it's Jones Dairy natural one from Sprouts. So this one I try to use in red sauces. So I'll put this in the lasagna and I'll save this one for the egg bake. I think that may be it. Let's see if there's anything else we need. Oh, I know. Yep. I'm gonna make some French bread for my daughter's boyfriend. He really likes that, so I think I'll get him some jam. So I've got some cherry berry jam. All right, so that's my little shopping haul for the week. I need two other things that I happen to have upstairs in the fridge, and that is some ricotta cheese. And because I'm going to be eating this as well, I have the almond version because I can't do the dairy. And I have some goat's milk mozzarella, which I've been doing fine with. So that's for the lasagna. I'll make some, that one's going to be a keto version, so I'm going to make some keto noodles. But feel free to use regular noodles if you want to follow along with me for dinner. And pizza, I'm going to show you what I'm using for the crust. It is not keto. It is paleo, if you care. It is a crisp crust. It's cassava bread. I get it at the International Market in Atlanta, so I brought some back. It is, I don't know, we really like it. Either just toast it in the oven with some olive oil, salt, and garlic powder, or with a pizza. You don't ever want to eat it in its state as it comes. It's like eating a handful of sand. But once you put the olive oil and the salt and the garlic on it, which I'll also do to turn it into a pizza crust, it's really delicious. So feel free to use whatever pizza crust you want to use. That's absolutely fine, but that's what I'm going to use this time. And I think that's it. I think we're good to go. So I'll meet you upstairs and we'll get started on dinner tonight. All right, so let's take a quick look at what we have for the week. So let me see, I'll start with tonight. I think tonight's gonna be the pizza. So we're gonna do barbecue chicken pizza. So I have some raw packed chicken, barbecue sauce. What else goes on my pizza? Let's see, maple onion jam goes on there. And always in this house, hot pickled peppers will go on there. So that's tonight's dinner. And then, oh, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make the pear chutney tart so that that can be set, cooled by the time we get to dinner. So we're going to go ahead and make that here in a few minutes. So that's going to go with tonight's dinner, or be tonight's dessert. And then, let me see, the lasagna. We have crushed tomatoes from last year, pasta sauce from this year, hot Italian sausage from this year, and that's all I need for that. So this will be Wednesday night's dinner and Friday night's dinner, because remember we're going out on Thursday. So kids come in Saturday, so Sunday morning breakfast, will be, I'll do an egg bake. So I've got potatoes. I'm going to give them the option of sausage or corned beef in there. And then I'm going to make some bread, so we'll have some cherry berry jam. So that is 4, 7, 8, 12 jars for 2 dinners and a breakfast. So I think that's a pretty good haul from our grocery store downstairs. As I said, I have plenty of leafy green vegetables in the garden, so I'll probably put a salad tonight, probably a salad both nights actually, with the lasagna and the pizza. All right, let's get on to making the pear chutney. Okay, this one could not be any easier. I have a 1/2 pint jar of pear chutney, 2 eggs, and about 2½ tablespoons of melted butter. If you want to do it dairy-free, you can use the buttery flavored coconut oil that I use, but butter works probably better. All right, so let's get the eggs cracked and mixed up. All right, get these mixed up. Now, we'll do the butter. So about 2½ tablespoons, I find works best. I've gone over, I've gone under. 2½ is really kind of the sweet spot, I think. 2½ tablespoons. I have my oven preheating to 350. Oh, that smells fantastic. Now this little tart dessert is the one you originally saw me do it on the pecan pie. Works fabulously there. I've been going through all of my chutneys using it as well. The only ones I don't absolutely care for done this way are the spicy chutneys. So I have a couple that are quite spicy, like the jalapeno cranberry one. I think is a little spicy for me to do this way. But these milder chutneys are just fantastic like this. All right, so watch this. We're like almost done now. All right, we're going to put that in our little ramekins and stick it in the oven. All right, these are the ramekins you always see me use. These are 4-ounce ramekins. And I don't spray them, I don't put anything in there. I do put a parchment paper sheet down underneath here because sometimes they will bubble up. And I'm just going to divide this among the 4 ramekins. These are going to cook for roughly 30 minutes. I usually set a timer for about 25. And, know that they could, depending on how wet your chutney is, could need up to maybe 40 minutes. If you're going to do it, maybe you're doing it as one small pie, like in a little quiche pan or something like that, then feel free to go up on your time. You may need 45 minutes or so. If you do a full pie, meaning a full pint of this stuff, you're probably going to need a full hour, if not a little bit longer, because this is a little liquidy. All right, that's it. Literally, that's it. I'm going to stick it in the oven and set a timer for 25 minutes. And I'll come back and let you know when it's done and tell you exactly how long it took. Okay, that's the pear chutney tart. You can see that it did bubble over just a little bit, so that's why I always put the parchment paper down. But it is ready. Toothpick has come out clean. I'm going to set it aside to cool. I generally like them to cool at least 45 minutes to an hour just to set up because of the egg and the butter in there. And then we'll have that after dinner as dessert. All right, now we're going to work on tonight's dinner. This is the cassava bread that I mentioned when we were downstairs. I buy this at the International Foods Market in Atlanta. It's, I don't know, maybe $3 for this package, and there are 4 of these little triangles in there. You can get it on Amazon, but I don't think I would. The stuff is so crumbly, I can't imagine it would come in decent shape from Amazon. So if you have an international market and you have an interest in it, give it a shot. But please don't taste it like it is. I told you it tastes like sand. It's horrible like it is. But the minute you toast it up with some olive oil, garlic, and salt, it's fantastic. So in doing keto, paleo, whatever, we don't get a whole lot of crunchy things. So every now and then I like to have something crunchy. And this really fits the bill for us. So I'm going to get it broken up into handheld pieces because, as I said, it's pretty crumbly. And if I get a bunch of toppings on there, I need something small enough that's going to hold together. And then I'm going to pour some extra virgin olive oil on it. And I like to get a decent amount on here. So while I'm getting this ready, I have the oven preheating. It's on 350. This is going to go in the oven for about 10 minutes or so while I make the toppings. So I'm just going to get it good and well coated with the extra virgin olive oil. And then I'm going to add some garlic powder and then some salt. And that really, it's just remarkable how much that little bit of effort changes the entire flavor profile of this stuff. The crust is going in the oven. Let's get the toppings ready. So I'm going to make some barbecue chicken. And this is just beyond simple. It's hard for me to even sit here and describe it to you. I'm going to open the raw packed chicken and I'm going to open the barbecue sauce and I'm going to mix them up in a pan and just let them warm up for just a little bit. So I put just a dollop of grease in the bottom of the pan so that my chicken doesn't stick. And I'm just going to put it in there and break it up. So for those of you who have not done raw packed chicken, some of my beginner canners have not yet. This is how it comes out of the jar. It's very much like canned chicken you buy in the grocery store, but you know exactly what goes in it. And it just immediately comes out in a shreddable with a fork. So we'll get this heating up and then pour in the barbecue sauce and let it heat for just a couple of minutes while we wait for the crust to finish up. And then we'll start putting this pizza together. All right, that crust will be out in a minute, so let's get the rest of the toppings ready to go. These are some of the mini hot banana peppers I did this summer. And then this is the onion jam that I did this summer. I have videos on both of these, and they are tremendously useful in my pantry. I use them all the time. So I'm going to put a little goat cheese on this. There is my barbecue chicken ready to go. All right, out comes the crust. It looks beautiful now, doesn't it? It's absolutely delicious at this point. And sometimes we'll just put some hummus on it, or we'll put some spinach artichoke dip on it, or just some cheese, or just have this, maybe with a plate of spaghetti. But it also makes for a perfect pizza base. So I'm just going to spread some of the barbecue chicken on it, try to get that evenly spread out. And I did actually have plenty to do this. And then we're going to move on to some goat cheese. And I just like a little bit of goat cheese on each of these. And then I'm going to add the maple onion jam, which is that wonderful sweet hit. Remember, mine is made with allulose, so I'm not getting a big sugar hit from this. And then I'm going to top everything with the hot pickled peppers that we made so many of those this summer. So I have videos, I think, I know I do for the chicken, the barbecue sauce, the maple onion jam, and the pickled peppers, now that I think about it. So I have videos on all of that if you have an interest in how any of it was made. It was all homemade at the beginning, so that now all I have to do is open a jar and still have a totally homemade, made from scratch pizza, except for the crust, of course. But anyway, this is a super easy thing, and we love to do this on occasion. It's some great crunch if you're missing crunch in your diet. We enjoy this. But if you haven't done a barbecue chicken pizza, you should really try one. It's nice to have something different. And because David requested pizza and lasagna, I really didn't want to go, totally Italian on both. So here we are with a fun little pizza. Okay, dinner is ready. Here we go. Let's take a little taste. It smells terrific in here. This is not an easy thing to eat without making a mess, but I'm going to give it a shot. I should have gotten a napkin. It's delicious. Really, really good. If you have made a barbecue chicken pizza, do it. If you made the maple onion jam, absolutely try that on a pizza. It's fantastic. All right, we'll be back when it's time for dessert. Yes. See, I get the cool one, barely. The seam there. You get that one. Okay, how was your dinner?
It was fantastic.
Barbecue chicken pizza?
Oh yeah.
It was good?
I
Okay.
liked it.
All right, so we are having pear chutney tart. We've had this before, but it's been a while. This was a special request from a viewer.
Okay. It's
I think
good.
it's delicious.
Yep, very good. Tastes like pie.
It does kind of taste like a custard pie. That's what it looks like on the inside. I like this. We had that one that was a hot chutney, and that I didn't like as a dessert, but this is terrific.
Yeah, this is great. I like this.
It's like an egg custard with pears. Delicious. All right.
Very
See you
good.
the next time I cook. So let's take just a minute to talk about our sponsor today, Nakano knives. You've heard me talk about them before, and you know I'm a huge fan. I want to thank them so much for being part of this channel. Nakano Knives is based in Seiki, Japan, which is the home of the samurai sword. So for generations and generations and generations, the swordsmiths have been honing their skills in Seiki, and that has translated beautifully into Nakano knives. This is the first knife that they sent me to try. This is the Santoku knife in the Mito series. This is 6.7-inch blade. It is high carbon steel. This is a natural olive wood handle. This is a beautiful knife. This knife feels so good in my hand. The tilt of the blade is fantastic. It is sharp as can be. It will cut anything I need it to cut. It's weighted really well. I absolutely love this knife, but they sent me another one as well. This is the chef knife in the Micarta series. I refer to this series, the Micarta series, as the chefy version. These are some serious knives. This is more knife than I ever thought I would need, yet I am finding so many uses for it. And David is really looking forward to carving the turkey with this one in a few days. So this knife is 8.3 inches in the blade. It is made from Damascus steel. Now, I didn't know what that was, so I had to look it up. Apparently, Damascus is a process of fusing iron and stainless steel with charcoal in a nearly oxygen-free environment. So what that tells me is that there are human beings involved in the design and the creation of this knife. It's not done by machines. It's not done by AI. These are the swordsmiths who've been in Seiki for generations and generations making these knives, and it shows. It is a beautiful product. You cannot go wrong with this product. It is sharp as can be. It'll cut anything. Even as large as this knife is, it is easy for me to handle. I have tiny little hands. Fits me beautifully. David loves it. It's been terrific. So next up, I want to show you their pull-through knife sharpener. Even this thing is extraordinarily well made and worthy of the beautiful knives. So there are 3 channels that you pull it through to sharpen. This is the coarsest one, and then the mid-level, and finally the very fine edge. So you want to pull it through from end to end. This makes for a fabulously sharp blade. Absolutely beautiful. It'll do anything I want it to do at this point. So as part of the sponsorship, Nakano is offering you a tremendous discount on anything on their website as well. If you use my link or my code, Grow and Preserve, the link will be down below, you get 30% off anything on their site from November 20th, 2023 through December 10, 2023. 30% off. That's the best I have ever seen. So I am very excited because I have a couple of items from their site on my wish list that I'm giving to my kids and my husband. I particularly want some paring knives now to go with my other two beautiful knives. So they have a single paring knife and they have a set of 3 in the paring knife. So I'm putting both of those on my list, and I'm hoping maybe David picks up the set of 3. So whether you're just starting or just finishing up your gift buying, be sure to go check out Nakano knives, particularly during the 30% off discount. You won't find a better value for your money. The quality is absolutely superb. And at the prices with the 30% off discount, you just can't go wrong. If you're buying these for yourself, putting them on your wish list, you'll be happy as can be. If you're buying them for someone else, they'll be happy as can be. Let's go back to cooking. All right, let's move on to the lasagna. As I mentioned, this is a keto version of lasagna. So this first part here that I'm going to do, most of you will think I have lost my mind. My keto friends, however, will recognize that I'm using kind of a spin-off of Indigo Neely's Egg Life wraps. So I'm doing slightly different version than what she does because I feel like as a lasagna sheet noodle stand-in, it does a little better to have a little more fiber. But I will write the recipe that I'm using down below. So I'm going to make 3 of these, and it's like a giant sheet noodle coming out in a crepe pan. And those of you who are not keto, go eat your noodles and be very grateful you have noodles to eat. But in the meantime, the rest of us will eat these things and be happy to have them. Actually, to me, they taste just like, well, I can't say they taste just like noodles, but to me, they are a perfect stand-in for a lasagna noodle because the rest of the stuff is really the star, right? All of the flavors and the rest of the stuff, these are just there to keep the layers separated and give you some kind of chew in the middle of it. And they do a really good job with that. So I'm going to get 3 of these made, and then we'll get to work on all of the flavor and the guts of the lasagna. Okay, now that my noodle layer is almost done, let's start working on the yummy parts. We'll start with the filling here. And I have Italian sausage that I canned. I have pasta sauce, and I have some roasted tomatoes. So I'm just going to use 1 pint of each, put it into the pot, heat it up, and that'll be ready to go. I'm not sure if I have done a spaghetti on camera yet, but this is exactly the same way I would do a spaghetti sauce. I would use all 3 of these jars, not just the pasta sauce. I do like some chunky tomatoes in my spaghetti, especially if I'm using something like a spaghetti squash. I enjoy that. And this is exactly what I would do. Mix it up, heat it up, and then top the spaghetti. In this case, I'm going to put it in the lasagna. All right, let's start with the ricotta filling. I have an egg in here. In hindsight, I probably should have used 2 eggs, but I did it with 1 and it was just fine. Now I'm going to use this Kite Hill ricotta, which is made from almonds, because regular dairy is something I still can't do. But this works just fine. If you have regular dairy ricotta, that would be absolutely perfect. I do have some mozzarella there from goat's milk, and that seems to be working okay for me as well. So I'm just going to mix the egg and the ricotta, add some seasonings, and get that ready to go as the filling, and then shred up some mozzarella. All right, now it's time to get the lasagna put together. I have the oven preheating at 375 degrees. Once I get it in there, it's going to be maybe 40 minutes, and I will cover it, tint it with a piece of aluminum foil after about 20-25 minutes because I don't want the cheese to get too brown. So I'm just going to do mine in layers. You layer yours however you choose to layer it. I tend to start with a little bit of sauce on the bottom just to make sure that the noodle does not stick to the bottom. I don't grease up the pan, I don't do any of that, and I seem to have no issues if I do it this way. So we'll start with the base of the sauce, and then I'm going to add a noodle, and then we'll go in with the ricotta and some more sauce, and then we'll do it all over again. And then finally, I'm going to finish it up with the goat's milk mozzarella. And then I'll put it on a tray and pop it in the oven. While the lasagna has been in the oven, I prepared just a very simple green salad, and I'm just going to slice up one of the very last of the tomatoes from the garden. This was a green tomato that I brought in. They're all starting to ripen. They're not my favorite at this stage. Most of the rest of them will probably go in the freezer, but I just thought, well, as long as I can have a nice homegrown red tomato on the plate, I'll go ahead and put it on there. All right, the lasagna is out of the oven and it's been resting for about 20 minutes. So let's get it cut up and I'll show you how it looks on the inside. Now, if I hadn't told you that that was a keto lasagna, you would have no idea looking at that, right? It looks awesome, and that's what I like to see. I want something that's just as appealing for the eye as it is to eat, and this one absolutely meets the bill. And you see, it took me virtually no time at all. All the time was spent with it in the oven. All right, let's get a piece out. Here comes a piece for David. His side gets cut in half, and my side gets cut in thirds. So I completely forgot to do an on-camera taste test of this, but you're just going to have to trust me. It was absolutely amazing. We tore into that, and it was terrific. So next we're going to head back to that clip that I had lost for a while from July, late July of this year, where we do the taste test of the canned French fries and the tomato jam that we made. So let's head back in time. I'll see you there. All right, so tonight Carter really doesn't feel like cooking. So we're going to have some French fries that we canned together in November of 2022. And it looks like I was supposed to open these in May for the 6-month taste test. Well, I'm a couple months late, so this will be an 8-month taste test on the fries. I'm going to do them in the air fryer, and we're also going to have the tomato jam that we just canned together. I'm going to try that on the fries. David will probably have it on his burger. I'm going to have it on the fries. I'm excited about it. All right, stick with us. We'll be back with dinner in a minute. Okay, so we're going to taste today the burgers we know are good, grass-fed burgers from Costco. These are the fries from 8 months ago that we did together. This is a Purple Rain tomato that we like. It's a determinate. And we have our tomato jam. All right, taste test kind of dinner. Let me bring David in and we'll get to it. Okay, tomato jam for your fries.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a little bit sweet, a little bit heat. This is in place of ketchup.
A little bit sweet, a little bit of heat.
Yeah. So we just made that.
Can I try
The
it?
fries are going to be extremely hot. Yeah, you may want to try it on your burger first.
I'll try it here.
Okay.
What's in it?
Tomatoes. I don't really remember anything else.
What's the sweet part? Because it's sweet.
Allulose. It's not sugar.
Oh, okay. It's really good.
Yeah, it is good, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a mix between ketchup and barbecue sauce without the smokiness.
Mm-hmm.
You like that one?
I do.
Okay. All right. Let's try it on the burger.
Okay.
Oh, what'd you think of the fries? We were supposed to do a taste of those 2 weeks ago. No,
They're-
2 months ago.
Of course, they're really good. They're French fries. But I did notice you got them out of one of your jars, which is amazing to me. They could be so crisp after being in a jar like that.
For 8 months.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Tomato jam's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like it better on the fries than I do the burger.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
You normally like ketchup and hot sauce on your burger, right? Sometimes mayo.
Mm-hmm. That's right, mayo, but I like hot sauce on everything.
True.
But I like it better on the fries.
Yeah. I'm going to try a french fry with the tomato jam here. Kind of digging the tomato jam.
Yeah, it's good.
The recipe, I guess I only did half a recipe because I didn't have very many tomatoes. I only have 5 of these little things. I may have to make some more.
Mm-hmm.
It's
not that
It's a
hot.
hot french fry.
Not that hot.
It feels hot.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm just kidding. It's not hot.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. The fries are great. Okay. All right, should we go eat?
Yeah, the fries taste like you just made them today.
I know, right?
Yeah,
It's
they're really
shocking.
good. It is shocking because they've been in 8 months
In a jar downstairs.
in a jar. Was there any water and liquid in the jar?
No.
No, okay. They were just dry canned.
Uh-huh.
Amazing. You just pulled them out. I saw you pull them out a minute ago and you heated them up in the air fryer and here we go.
I know. It took, I think I did 5 minutes in the air fryer, shook them up, and then I did another 5 minutes while he cooked the burgers.
Yeah, they were good.
And I opened the jam, sliced the tomato. Pretty easy night.
Good job, babe.
Oh. Mm-hmm. See you next time.
Thank you. See y'all. Good job.
So if you're watching this video around the time it comes out, it's November 2023, and I want to wish all of my American friends a very happy Thanksgiving week coming up. I hope it is filled with family and friends and laughter and joy and thankfulness for all that you have, all that you are, and all of the folks around you. My children will be in Saturday, and I will have a house filled with family, and I can't think of anything I would rather have. So I'm going to be taking next week off, so they won't see a video on November 25th, but I'll be back with a new video for you on December 2nd, and I think you're going to enjoy that one. So thank you one more time to Nakano Knives. I'm very grateful to them for sponsoring this channel, and I hope that you will go check them out and show them some love. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.